Hi everybody, it's me Lagarto and I'm also known as Chino and Artie. Today I'm actually going to do this update. The Catz Mojo console. It's just right after the Ouya after that because they basically sold them the company or something like that. I don't know the issue, what happened to Ouya. I had a great Kickstarter and after that it's hard for everybody to get their own console later on. And it was marketed everywhere. I mean it was great back then and it inspired people to actually go mobile gaming, having Android boxes as well as the Fire Stick. Having an Android on your TV. But anyway, let's check out the Catz Mojo. How is it doing on today's 2019? Well, I had set it up the right way. I mean, the Ouya actually had a NVIDIA Tegra 3, while this one has a Tegra 4 with a 1.8 quad-core ARM processor. And I set it up like a PC standard in a different way. This is my other gem box. I'm just putting this one on the side because I'm not using it right now. It has a nice user-friendly interface. Well, this one's more for professional or pro usage enthusiasm gamers for mobile gaming and retro gaming as well because it's mostly used for emulators or anybody who's using, tries to turn their Android games into console style or PC gaming or whatsoever, Let's get to this. Okay. Right now, I actually finished molding this, where is it? There it is. I finally finished putting this, what's that called? A 4 USB port adapter. Actually, it's 5, actually, yeah. And then what I did was to expand the 3.0. I finally put a glue on it because it was not sticking for some reason. And, well, I'll take the tape out. So, I put a 32GB Toshiba 3.0. And I'm using a Cyber PC. It's not Catz. The Catz sticker comes with the unit anyway, so I just wanted to match the tone to it. And I put in the Sony PlayStation Classic to play my classic games and PlayStation games on this unit. Now, if I'm gonna play the Android games, most of the Android games that are controller compatible are default by using an Xbox 360 controller or Xbox One, which I can just plug it on the side if I want to, but I don't need to. Because I do have an Air Mouse, and if I want to Bluetooth this controller, I'll gladly too. The Wi-Fi on this Catz is not good at all. I mean, even the Roku one is doing better than this. That's why I decided to put it in my gaming room as well. Because originally I wanted this downstairs so I could play my Sega Genesis, PlayStation, Super Nintendo, my PC Engine, and N64 games. But just say this is like a poor man's NVIDIA Shield because NVIDIA Shield is running on a 1X integrated graphics core on its own NVIDIA, but this one has its own NVIDIA app. Not bad, see? And it has its own Tegra zone anyway, and then it has its own Ouya front end as well, which I would never use. And then after that, you got the Play Store where you can just add the games you want. And then your emulation, which I'm going to show you right now. I'm using an Air Mouse, so I can just use the keyboard if I want to. And, well, somebody's messaging me on this phone. Anyway, I can use this keyboard if I want to type, surf the net. And then I also use this as an Air Mouse to play like Angry Birds as an example. Or it's like better than, using the controller because you can actually just... It's like touching the screen almost. It's actually for me in my own, usage. Now let's see. If I use the EPSXE, it's actually my favorite emulator back in the days till now. Now let me refresh it. And these are just the current games I actually have and own as well. Because my current PlayStation is right here, and it still runs, but it's just I don't want to use the optical disc. I don't want to wear it off. Now, I'm a big Wipeout fan. Now, let's try Mortal Kombat Trilogy. Oh, no, actually, Tekken 3. It actually runs way better than the PlayStation Classic. I'm not using the Classic at all. I just thought that I bought this console, the PlayStation Classic, just for the controllers. Because it's compatible via USB on any Android system. So if you're playing Super Nintendo, it's almost identical. And I like it wired because the Bluetooth it can be too much. The only drawback about the Catz Mojo is that it has that little menu bar in the bottom, but hey, it's better than nothing. I can stretch the screen, but I prefer the 4.3 aspect. without stretching it. But if I decide to use RetroArch, I can actually do widescreen hack. And the game is running fully 60 frames per second, and the refresh rate's on 60 hertz. It's looking more beautiful than the PlayStation Classic. The texture rendering is basically a default, like, but a little more enhanced than it is on its original PlayStation counterpart. Emulator kind of sharpened it up. That's for 3D games. Now for 2D games, like, people always try to get Mortal Kombat Trilogy running good. It actually runs perfect. The N64 one is really broken. The best way to play Mortal Kombat Trilogy is not even a console port, it's actually the PC port without loading or anything like that, but you have to play the DOS version. And the CD audio, the Red Book audio is running great on this too. The emulator actually just, without any plugins. For the PC version of this emulator, you do have to put in a plugin called Mooby. M-O-O-B-Y. And the controller is already pre-configured. And it feels just like the real thing. It does have vibration support if I can get you know, of course, a DualShock controller, but I can actually get the vibration support working on an Xbox 360 or Xbox One controller. And this controller is out of the box. It functions everything without any driver issues. It runs volume. I think loading is quite realistic. I'm surprised this game didn't appear in the Classic. Same thing with the game Wipeout. That was one of the launch games, including Ridge Racer. If I want to have the Sega Genesis feel to it, I will use the Mad Catz 6-button controller to play the Sega Genesis. I could just plug it in there. I have all the ROMs and everything I need to do. I can't play the game with one hand, but we're trying. See? It runs great. Media-wise, you can surf the net, Chrome. Just have to update the firmware. It's a little more stronger than the Ouya, or I don't know. I mean, looking at the Gembox, actually runs more compatibility because it's more an updated OS. But it doesn't. Now I'm able to watch live TV on Pluto TV if I want to. It just has to buff a little bit. Now live TV is working. Now that's an example. And then Popcorn Time. It's running perfect too. Just pick a movie and it runs through torrents. VLC Player runs great too. And speaking about Android games, no problem. Right out of the box, if you're using a 360 controller or an Xbox One controller, it plays the games like no problem. But so far, this Mad Catz Mojo is great for media-wise, but and games as well. And it supports 4K resolution, up to 4K. I'm using my air mouse to control this game, so it's kind of cool. Like, oh, I'm driving like this. Oh, I think the controller. Yeah, I can use the controller. Not bad. See, I can actually use the controller. I didn't know that. Last time I was able to use it with the mouse, but the controller is plugged in via wire, so it looks like it works good for it. So overall, using the Mad Catz Mojo console in 2019, it's still great. It's not outdated. The Ouya is still not outdated to me. It's just I don't like that the menu, the GUI front end interface. The Gembox has a user-friendly interface. It's really great. I will make a second review on that one. But so far, if you want a pure Android, you know, like a cell phone on your TV or something, or make a personalized PC, Android PC, this guy runs around probably $40 to $60. Don't spend more than $60 for a unit like this. The Air Mouse runs around like 12 bucks. Keyboard like this, Fry's Electronics, you get a bundle plus a mouse, and you get a headset for only $20. And just get some speakers on the monitor, and you're set to have a full-fledged PC, and just get a Wi-Fi to connect on. You're good. Or tether it with your phone or hotspot. So thank you guys for watching, and if you want to leave a comment, please leave a comment on my comments menu. And if you want to add me on Facebook, I'll gladly chat with you guys. And I think so far that's all I can say so far. So I would like to thank ETA Prime for, you know, making his videos, because I enjoy watching his channel all the time. So far, it's like my primary channel to watch on YouTube. So check out his channel if you're into emulation and tutorials. He's one of the greatest. It's easy to understand and follow in all elementary terms. Thank you for watching.